Hello, everybody. Come on in tonight. We are going to have a candid conversation with this handsome man here. My husband is our guest tonight. Um, Welcome to Wonderfully Made, where we inspire courage and confidence. And so, if you don't get anything else, that's what I want you to gain from um, this broadcast. And so, we're just so glad to have you tonight. And I also want to say this is my husband's birthday. So, if you could comment in the comments wishing him a happy birthday, we would love that. So, yeah, we didn't do anything today special because we did a Zoom surprise birthday party for him on Saturday with family and friends. Um, but he agreed to come on with me tonight. So, because I think it's important for us or women, people, to understand the process that we go through and some of the things that we encounter. And as a bald woman, I have actually, hold on. Oh, thanks, Arlene. Arlene says happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Give him birthday love. Come on, give him birthday love. So, as a bald woman, you don't realize if you have hair, you don't realize what people who, especially women who are bald, what we go through. And so I have actually heard a lot of stories about women, bald women, whose husbands left them, whose significant other walked out on them, because they were bald, or maybe because of the mentality or the attitude. Not sure what reason, but I just wanted to have a candid conversation with my husband. I didn't introduce him. I'm so sorry. This is my husband, Kim Chisholm, my husband of 33 years. So, you want to say something?
Oh, I'm glad to be on the show. And first time on, I guess we say TV. Internet.
So. He's been a supporter of the broadcast since day one. He's always on at his computer in the other room. So I appreciate him for his support. But one thing that we have never, I'm sorry, please share and like for me. Okay. And you can follow me. Let me go in and say this. You can follow me on Instagram at Carol Chisholm Ministries, on Facebook at Carol Chisholm and Carol Chisholm Ministries. And you can also follow me on YouTube at Carol Chisholm. Okay. So, again, if you have any questions tonight, if you want to ask us questions, we're going to be candid and just as open as we possibly can. So, you can put a question in the comment section, and then we will answer the comments, okay, or the questions. All right, so I first want to start with, this kind of came about because, as you know, I'm writing a book, and I have a writing coach, and I kind of stuck on this particular chapter, which is the chapter that is most intense for me, because it was the chapter, I'm writing the chapter now where I was confined to wearing wigs. And how it just basically devastated me, that to me there was no hope. All my hope was gone. There was no other remedies. I had gone to different places, tried different things, and still there was no hope. And so in doing that, I actually kind of sank deeper and deeper into depression. And so, but we never really had a conversation about what was going on. And so she encouraged me that, to talk to your husband, and see what was in his mind. And so that's what we're doing. We did that, and we thought this will be interesting. And so I want to ask a question. Okay. This question, excuse me, says, and it's a research done by Brightside, and it says 9 visual female traits that make men lose their mind. So, what do you think is the number one trait of a woman that really makes men go crazy?
Their butt, the size and presentation of it.
The presentation
of it.
Okay.
The style, how they
shape.
walk, the shape, how they walk, and the shape.
Okay.
That's the number one.
Okay. Well, that is not what they have as number one on their research. They do say, however, excuse me, if you ask a man what is the first thing they pay attention to when it comes to a woman's appearance, it's likely that his answers will be somewhat around breasts, hips, or smile.
Hips is
okay.
Hips
so,
is
all right,
but the hip is a part of the butt.
Here is the answer. The number one answer was long hair. Long hair. Men like long hair. Men are very visual creatures. We know that. And they like long hair. And so imagine when I lost my hair. Now, I never really had long hair, but it was thick and it was a nice length. I mean, but it wasn't, you could go flipping it around and things like that. But I realized that in losing my hair, let me ask you this. What did you feel like when I started losing my hair?
Well, I felt helpless because that's the first time I ever experienced anything like that, or even heard about, ladies going bald and losing their hair. I just never experienced it. I didn't know nobody like that. So I was shocked when it happened to us. And I experienced, going through that process. And then I was helpless because I didn't have an answer to, me being as a man. I'm supposed to come up with suggestions and solutions. And I did not have a suggestion or solution to help you when your hair was falling out.
So did you feel at any time that, when you married me, I had hair. Right. Some people are born with alopecia. And so if they get married, they were known as a woman who is bald. But I had hair. So what did you didn't buy into a bald woman, right? When we gave our marriage vows, we said what? In sickness and in health, right. But baldness wasn't a part of the package. So did you feel like, okay, I didn't buy in for this because of all the emotional things that had come along with me being bald and losing my hair?
Well, yes. What I saw it as a sickness. So, in my mind, as we going through this situation, I'm like, oh, this is a sickness. This is a medical condition, because to me, you said something happened at the beauty parlor and they put some wrong stuff in it. So to me, they put wrong chemicals in your head that caused that, your this process that, in my mind, I'm thinking this started at the beauty parlor when they put the wrong chemicals in your head and just burnt your hair up and destroyed everything. So I saw it as a sickness from I look at it like a chemical burn. That's what I was looking at. I was thinking it was a chemical burn.
That's what we thought.
That burnt all the way down to the root. And so that's what I thought it was. Because that's what you said,
right? Because that's what I assumed. I thought that it was a combination of me having vocal cord surgery and being under anesthesia, And also at the same time, sorry, my dog is barking. At the same time, I had had curls at that time. So I had a curl put on, and it.
I'm just gonna shut the door.
Okay, and it actually, I thought it was more of a chemical burn. So that's how unaware I was of alopecia and how it starts. And so, ladies, anytime that you have any kind of hair loss, I have been told that that may be alopecia. That if the hair doesn't grow back the way that it was. And so pay attention to it, because it can come on be brought on by anything, stress. It could be sometimes genetic. And so you want to be aware of what's going on. So just please be cautious of that. And so you thought that, but you never felt like you wanted to leave me.
No.
Like it was, because you didn't marry me for my hair, right?
No.
Y'all know what he married me for, right? He gave you the answer.
I gave you my answer. That caused me to go and approach her, to talk to her. And then after that, then the personality, me learning the personality was the factor.
Yeah. So, hey guys, Peggy, thank you for joining us. Rashida, thanks. Hey Rosa, how are you? So will your hair ever grow back? No, Rashida, it will not. But actually, I still grow hair around from like this point, this point in the back to the other side on the back. So as you can tell or assume, I looked like the clown.
Oh, Bozo the clown.
I looked actually worse because Bozo had hair on the side. So I looked like Bozo the clown, and had no hair on the top. So my hair, all the follicles are gone, so I won't grow any hair on the top, but I can still grow hair around the back, which is really, and alopecia kind of depends on what kind of alopecia, because you have alopecia areata, which is usually starts with spots. It can progress to totalis, which is totally bald on your scalp. And then there's a form of alopecia that's called universalis, something like that. And it's total loss of hair everywhere on your body. And so I'm in the middle of, those are the top three, the main three, but there are other kind that's like a male pattern baldness. It has a name, and I can't think of that. But no, I will not grow hair on the top of my head, barring a miracle from God. So I do still look for a miracle, because he is a miracle worker. And so as I progressed in the journey, lost my hair. It started thinning first. I had a bald spot in the top of my head. And then, so I started to kind of, experiment with braids and weaves and buns and things like that, when I still had enough that I can just kind of, put a bun or up sweep and then put something on the top of it. But then I got to the point where it was just no hair on the top. So of course I couldn't do anything but wear wigs. And there was no solution. As he said, he was looking for solutions. He wanted to help. But then I came to a point where I wouldn't even allow my family, my husband. Now, we had been married for many years at that time, right? And I wouldn't even allow you to see me.
Right.
I wouldn't allow him to see me bald. So I always had a wig on. Hey, Coach K, how are you? I always had a wig on, no matter what. And so, your spouse is your partner, you're intimate, you have an intimate relationship with them. And I remember there were times when we were, when I had hair and I wasn't in a self-imposed bondage, we would go into the bathroom together, get dressed. He'd brush his teeth, wash, or comb his hair while I'm putting on makeup. But I had gotten to a point where every time I would go in the bathroom, I would lock the door because I didn't want him in there. I didn't want him to see me. And I felt like he was repulsed at the way I looked because I was. Anita says, happy birthday, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Because I was repulsed. And so I think in my mind, I avoided conversations with you about my losing my hair, about my baldness, because and it's crazy, but in a way, I wanted to hear him say, I don't want to be with you. I did not buy in for this. You're bald and I can't handle it. But I knew he wasn't going to do that. And so I just really kind of avoided bringing it up, and he avoided it. So why'd you avoid a conversation?
I knew it was a very sensitive subject and topic, and I did not want to say the wrong words to mess up my intentions. My intentions is always to help and be positive, but I could say the wrong words, or I could say the wrong phrase, and you probably could say, I think I don't love you because of your bald headedness, and I said I hate to say the wrong phrase. There were some times I wanted to bring it up, but then I said, what could I say that won't offend? There it is. I didn't want to offend you, no kind of way. And because I knew, Evelyn, I knew you was going in the room because you didn't want me to see you. So, but I'm like, I've seen you before. We've been married for a long time. So, I don't have to be in the bathroom with you. I know what you look like. But I did not know that, it was because of her hair. I had no clue that she didn't want me in there because of her hair. It didn't bother me. She wanted to be in the bathroom by herself. That's fine with me. So, but I did not know it was because of her baldness. I did not realize that. And like you said, this is the first time we were talking about it.
Yeah,
we've been married for 33 years. We talking about it. She ain't want to talk about it, so I ain't want to talk about it. And the reason I didn't want to talk about it because I was afraid I might have said something the wrong way. But that would not be my intentions. I thought about it. A couple of times I did want to talk about it, but I said, you know what? If I say the wrong thing.
But really, I had put up not only an emotional barrier, I think I also put up a physical barrier to us getting even closer through the process. Because like I said, I thought, who wants a bald woman? I didn't want to be bald. So you know how you can project things onto other people and think that that's what their mindset is, right? To think that that's what their perception of you is, but that wasn't it at all. And so I'm glad to know that even though, we had been married and I started losing my hair 31 years ago. So we were married 2 years before my hair started to fall out. And then it, just progressed along the way until, maybe the last 10 years where I've been bald on the top. And so, so let me ask you this, because I don't want to keep everybody, we usually stay on about 20 to 30 minutes. How is it different now that I've come out as opposed to when I was still unaccepting of my baldness?
I think now it's more like you are a spokesman and you're out here to help other people. And so I see you as helping other people out, and I'm supportive in that. because I see you doing something positive.
But how do you feel like when we go into the store? Because the first time I went out bald, right, I felt secure because he was going with me. So I was like, yeah, my husband's with me. Ain't nobody gonna mess with me, right?
That's a true statement. Nobody gonna mess with me.
It's like, ain't nobody gonna mess with me. My husband's with me. So they can say whatever they want to say. But then the next time, which was the next day that I went out, he didn't go with me. And I knew it was a test that I had to do on my own, because God wanted me to just trust him. Mm-hmm. God wanted me to know that he's my protector. Hey, Nick. And so, so what do you think of this new wife? Because every time I would come home with a different hairstyle or a different wig, what would you say to me?
I got a new lady.
I have a new lady. So I always had options when I was bald. I always had options, or even when it was thinning, I had options. I'd come home with different hair, or different color, or different wig. And he'd always say, I have a new lady. And so now, what do you think of this new lady?
Well, one thing, as far as your personality, it's more outward of who you are, but also you look beautiful. You look, because it brings out more of your facial features, because so you look beautiful, and you look younger. So it's like,
hey, that's always the look I'm going for.
So I'm married to a younger lady. They didn't have to go and get nobody. So
okay, well, he did tell me. He says, it brings out your eyes. I see your cheekbones more. And so he says, you're beautiful. And he said, I didn't marry you for your hair anyway.
No.
So, and you know what he married me for. But I do want to ask you this last thing. What would you say to anybody, not just a woman who has alopecia? What would you say first to men who put a lot of emphasis on visual? What would you say to them?
Well, what I would say to a man, you have to get, there comes to a point where the person that you're going to be with, you're going to be with them through good times and bad times, and when they're healthy and when they're not healthy. So I would say, remember, that's the thing that you said you would do, and that's what you're going to have to do, because there's going to be some bad times, there's going to be some hard times. So you men, you're just going to have to be patient, long suffering. These words we don't want to hear. We don't want to be patient. Patient is more than just one day. Patience is for a while. Long suffering is more than just one day, more than a week. It's for a while. So, and then you have to remind yourself that the person that you're with is going through something. They're going through some. So you have to be compassionate. You have to be giving. You have to be more. You're going to be more of a servant. Being a leader is being a servant. So you have to be a servant. Don't say nothing negative. Don't say nothing negative. And that's one thing I've never done to my wife. I never said nothing negative. Never. If I had something, if the thought came to my mind to say, and the thought did come to my mind to say some negative things. Now, I never said them. Now I'll go take me a walk, let myself settle down, and then after my walk is over, or might go to the gym, work out, settle down, and come back. But I never said anything, because words is very powerful.
Can't take them back.
And you can't take them back. And you can say something to somebody and say, please forgive me, but they might not forgive you for a while. So don't even say it, because every person's different. And so I just be careful with your words. Don't say nothing negative, nothing harmful, no sarcastic, no joke, because there's nothing funny about it. So no jokes. Just be patient. Realize the other person's going through something, And then, you know, the most important thing, pray and ask the Lord for wisdom. You know, I was praying for myself, along with my wife, praying for my wife. I'm asking Lord, give me the words to say to my wife. Give me wisdom. Help me to communicate with my wife. That's what I'm praying, because I'm dealing with something that I never dealt before. And I didn't know nobody that I could talk to about that had a solution. So it was just me and the Lord.
Yeah. Well, okay. So that was your advice to men. I think Sister Kanita said more of a servant. And that's really huge, because a lot of times we don't realize that when we take vows, for better or for worse, that you're saying, I'm going to serve.
Exactly. Yeah,
I'm going to be a servant.
I got to be a servant.
Here recently, he's going through some health issues, but he's been serving me because I've been going through some things. Like, the man has to put my shoes on for me sometimes because I can't. I have pain, like a pinched nerve going on. And so, but that's being a servant. So you don't walk out when you lose hair, you don't walk out. You stick with it, right? You stick with it, and you don't give up. You don't give up. And so what would you say, and we're going to close, and if you have a question, guys, just put it in the comment section, and we'll answer it. We'll try to answer it, but we will answer. Okay. All right. So Kim, what would you say to women? Maybe a woman who's not just lost their hair, but maybe a woman, or anyone, we won't even say women because it happens to men too. You know, we can lose our hair. We can get a little overweight. We can start developing wrinkles, or may have skin conditions after the marriage. What would you say to someone who has been left because of a situation that they have experienced health-wise? What would you say to that remaining spouse that's now not only going through issues in their body, but now going through emotionally because someone has left them, making them feel like they're inadequate?
Well, number one, you got to take that to the Lord in prayer. You got to talk to the Lord and let him know exactly how you feel. And, you know, you tell the Lord everything straight up. You know, don't be shy about nothing. And because, you know, God, he's not going to tell nobody else. That's the best thing about God. He ain't going to tell nothing about nobody. So he's the only person you should tell everything. So long as you do that, and then, you know, ask the Lord to help you through this situation, and realize that you still have hope. You have to build, you know, you are somebody. Yeah. You know, everybody has an advantage of a positive. Everybody has a positive, and everybody has an advantage about themselves. So, you know, focus on your positive traits. There you go. Focus on your positive traits about yourself, and also continue to ask the Lord daily to help you through this situation. Those are the two main things. Is focus on your positive. Now, I can't do everything, but I got positive things about myself. I focus on that. I think on those things, you know, think on these things that are true, just of a good report. Well, there's some things that are true and just a good report of each person out here. Well, if you know, think on those things about yourself. So you can face tomorrow. Yeah. So you can make it through. So you can make it through the day. Because that's the struggle, making it through the day. And once you get through the day, tomorrow's going to come. You got to go through the same thing. So you want to think about positive things about yourself, and also knowing that God is on your side, because with God, all things are possible. And if long you got God in your life and you talking to him, he will make you the head and not the tail. And that's a fact. But you got to talk to him. You got to let him know what's going on.
Good advice. So yeah, because I had to stop looking at what I didn't have, what I had lost, and look at what I had gained. And I gained so much more in God. I gained an identity that he wanted me to find in him. And so, yes, is it painful if you lose someone, if they walk out the door on you because you lost your hair, because you're depressed, because you have a mental condition, because you have a health condition? Yes, it's so hurtful when people do that, because they took a vow through till death do us part. And so you can focus on the positive. Sister Kanita said, focus on the positive, and then take one day at a time, like Kim said. So we thank you all so much. If you don't have any questions, we thank you all so much for coming. You've been amazing, and it's been fun.
Oh, yeah.
You got to do this with me more often.
Okay.
What else can we talk about?
We'll think about it.
We'll think about it and definitely let you all know. But we thank you.
Oh, I got something.
What?
To everybody's out there, if you have a subject or a thought that you want us to talk about, that'll give us time to prepare for it. And that could be one of the things we could talk about.
Very good. Good. I'm so excited. I'm so glad that you guys dropped in tonight. Coming up January the 12th, Coach K from Model for the King is going to be our special guest. She's going to be talking about our upcoming Clear Vision Conference 2021, and also Shine. And she's going to tell you all about both of those. So please come make preparations to be there on the January 12th. Then next week, I think I'm going to talk about my vision board. And so you still have time. It's not too late to accomplish those goals for 2020. Okay. And so you have a few more days to get to it and get them done. So I want to remind you of tomorrow night, I'm doing a COVID style Christmas caroling, right? On the front lawn. So please join me at 5:30. It'll be on Facebook Live. So thank you all so much for joining us tonight. I am Carol Chisholm, and this is Kim Chisholm. And I'm your host for Wonderfully Made, where we inspire confidence and courage. So thank you so much. And happy birthday to you, my love.
Thank you.
God bless. Take care.
God bless you. All right.
Bye.